it's extremely important to show any kind of success on the eve of the so-called Victory Day in Russia, because it's 80th anniversary. And for propagandistic purposes, Putin is trying to show result. But again, he failed.
We knew this week was going to be crucial for Ukraine. US-led talks kick off in Saudi Arabia, and European leaders are putting together their plan to support the country. The stakes couldn't be higher. Trump says Ukraine may not survive, and there have been some bad days on the battlefield too for Ukrainian forces. Oleksander Merezhko is chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee in the Ukrainian Parliament. He's from President Zelensky's party as well, and he joins us this morning. Alexander, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a great pleasure. We have to ask you about this, which kind of happened overnight, I think. It's what Donald Trump said to Fox News' Maria Bartiromo last night.
Are you comfortable with that? The fact that you walked away and Ukraine may not survive?
Well, it may not survive anyway, but, you know, we have some weaknesses with Russia. You know, it takes two.
Ukraine may not survive anyway, according to Donald Trump. What do you make of that?
I beg to differ, because the truth is that Ukraine has already survived. And we continue this war. The war, I would like to remind the audience, has lasted since 2014, and a full-scale invasion for more than 3 years. And, we have part of Russian territory under Ukrainian forces' control. The Black Sea, Russian fleet is afraid to enter the Black Sea. So, and if we look objectively, Russia failed to materialize, to achieve the goals which Putin set in the beginning of the full-scale invasion. Russia is incapable of taking big cities in Ukraine. Russian advances are very slow. Russia is not capable even to occupy completely one of the Ukrainian regions, I mean Luhansk Oblast. So situation has stabilized right now, and I'm sure that we will survive anyway.
Have things got worse in the last couple of weeks? Because there's been some reporting that Russia has done slightly better militarily in the last couple of weeks.
Well, the thing is that for Putin, it's extremely important to show any kind of success on the eve of the so-called Victory Day in Russia, because it's 80th anniversary. And for propagandistic purposes, Putin is trying to show result. But again, he failed. And the thing is that Russian troops are being more and more exhausted. They're being worn out by our resistance, and they take huge losses. So the overall situation is not that bad.
Has the loss of intelligence sharing from the US, has that made any difference in the last week or so?
Unfortunately, it made, because everything which is detrimental to our defense has a negative impact on the situation, because, for us, intelligence information is crucial. It's not tragic for us, yes, and we can count on our European allies and partners, including the UK, in terms of providing intelligence information. But of course, everything is important. And I hope that Trump, when he said only yesterday, he said that he will resume providing intelligence information to Ukraine. I hope that he will really do it.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk has been threatening to turn off Starlink. How much does Ukraine rely on that? How serious a thing would that be?
Yeah, of course, we rely on Starlink. But again, if it happens, it will have negative consequences, but they will not be too dramatic for us.
Why do you think he would do that? I mean, how do you read the Washington establishment, of which Elon Musk is now a part? So it's Elon Musk and Trump are very, very close. Why would Trump say Ukraine might not survive? Why would Elon Musk say he wants to stop Starlink? Do you feel they are hostile to Ukraine? Is that the problem that we're getting to here?
I hope they're not hostile, even though Mr. Trump, he might hold a grudge against Ukraine because of certain events in the United States. He can blame Ukraine for certain political problems, which is not true, by the way. But, I think I have my theory about that, hypothesis, so to speak. I believe that Mr. Trump is trying to entice Putin to the negotiating table, and that's why he is making these compliments to Putin, and that's why he's making these kind of weird statements regarding Ukraine. But I hope that there is some kind of plan, maybe secret plan behind what we see on the surface, and we'll see in the near weeks what he's up to.
Yeah, and Zelensky's in Saudi Arabia. He's not conducting the negotiations; they're being conducted by his representatives. Do you have a sense of what would be unacceptable to you? Are there red lines in your mind that the Ukrainian government could never concede? If they say there should be a ceasefire, but that ceasefire might last a very, very long time, and Russia gets to keep the land that it's already gained, Crimea, and obviously the stuff in the east as well. Is that palatable to you as a Ukrainian? Will it be palatable to the Ukrainian people, the idea of a long pause where Russia gets to keep what it's taken?
Well, I believe that the compromise can be about returning Ukraine the occupied territories, including, of course, Crimea, not by military hand, but diplomatically. That might be a compromise. But with respect to red lines, first and foremost, the most important red line for us is, of course, our territorial integrity. We would never agree to any territorial concessions because it's impossible under our constitution. And second, most important red line for us is about our survival, which means security guarantees. For example, NATO membership. Our goal to become full-fledged NATO member is enshrined in our constitution, and we cannot change it.
But that's not going to happen. But Alexander, that's simply not going to happen under Trump, is it? Trump basically has said that. Trump said you're not going to get NATO. He's not really said you're going to get a security guarantee. I guess the question becomes, would you accept a European security guarantee as enough to guarantee a peace deal rather than an American one?
The truth is that the answer to this question depends not on us, but on the mind of Putin. Why? Because the question is, what can really deter him from the next wave of aggression, from new armed attacks against Ukraine? And so far, I can see that only NATO membership. If our European partners, the United States, will be able to come up with some other security guarantees which will be effective deterrent against.
But we keep coming to the same point. Just to finish it here, Alexander, is that the US is not offering NATO membership. It's very clearly not willing for you to be part of NATO. It's not willing to offer any security guarantees. So I guess the question will have to come down to, can your future security rest in the hands of Europe confidently, in your view? Because America is not there for you, and it doesn't look like it's going to be there for you.
Well, it doesn't mean that we have to stop our fight and try to continue to persuade our American friends to do the right things, because we have lots of friends. Majority of public opinion still on the side of Ukraine. We still enjoy bipartisan support from in the Congress, for example. So we continue to fight. But our future, our security rests in the hands of Ukrainian army, Ukrainian people. We understand this. But of course, a lot depends on Europe. And recently, Europe, in particular, the United Kingdom, and we're grateful to your government, to your people for support of Ukraine. So together we can defeat Russia and we can win this war.
Alexander, we shall see. Good to speak to you. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us.